Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today for our afternoon coffee break. My name is Brenda Mowbray and I work with Aqurus Solutions. Today we will have three speakers, Murray Quibell, Samantha Knighton DeForge, and Steve Svensson. We will be covering a few key topics that we hope you will find engaging and informative, especially as we navigate at this very unusual time. We will provide a corporate update. We'll discuss digital transformation, people, processes, tools, and discuss e-commerce. There'll be a demonstration of the tools as we go through. We will wrap up in 30 minutes, and if time allows, go through your questions. Please feel free to submit your questions online as we go. If we do not get to them in the session, we will respond separately. Stay tuned for the announcement of our May webinar coming soon. I'd like to turn it over to Murray Quibell, our president.
Thanks, Brenda. I'm going to talk about three main things, including the new normal. And then I'll get into three areas around that. First, I'll discuss what we're doing at Aqurus Solutions, what we're seeing out there, including some analyst reports. Then I'll discuss some examples in the areas of rapid digital transformation, including an example from the recent NFL draft. And then I'll get into a little bit around e-commerce, where I'll discuss some options and then go through an example. Here's our blog post with our COVID-19 business continuity statement. Okay, this is normal now. Who would have thought that a couple months ago? So we are all affected, certainly us as Aqurus, and we are respectful of businesses and people hit the hardest, particularly those on the front lines. Our virtual team, our online resources and web-based Acumatica cloud applications are part of our regular business operations, and thus we are continuing without disruption. So we're very thankful for this, and we are here to support you and share ideas. So we have seen unprecedented global unity and collaboration in this time, and we expect we will all come out of this much stronger. Here's what some of the analysts are saying. BDO is indicating a direct and lasting impact. I think we can all relate to things that may never be the same. Here's some of Ernst & Young's latest thinking, and they're highlighting that the remote working environment is here to stay, and the importance of enterprise resiliency. So resiliency being the ability to recover quickly. Forbes discusses the accelerated digital transformation with systems enabling companies to do more with less, particularly noting the need to accelerate, not just maintain your investment in automating processes. So automating business processes is what ERP software does best, as ERP software really is a classic collaboration and automation tool. So a note from McKinsey describes the importance of e-commerce solutions, and I think we can all relate to buying more online. So next, I'm going to discuss an example of digital transformation using the NFL draft. So the NFL draft, it was completed over this last weekend, was really an unprecedented example of a rapid and fundamental digital transformation. So here it's been an event that's typically been held in person as a 3-day festival. And the NFL is a very regimented organization. So many people thought that the draft itself should be canceled or delayed and expressed real concerns with doing it virtually. NFL, to its credit, pressed on in a virtual format and pulled this off with the logistics over the last few weeks. So we saw from the first round draft last Thursday, we had real-time feeds from 80 players in their homes, online fan sites, and real-time online interviews from people's homes. The event was coordinated by Commissioner Roger Goodell in his basement. So what were the results? Everything went excellent. It was executed without a hitch, and it smashed TV ratings records. There was a real sense that it just worked. It became a rich personal experience, and right from people's homes, sometimes with their kids in the background. We learned more about players and coaches as people, even though it was all digital. Traditions were upheld, fans booed the commissioner, and analysts quickly were talking about the players and teams and who did best and everything like that, just like every other year. So what can we take from this in our business? Can you transform your business fundamentally digitally like this? Now, of course, in your business functions are quite different from what we're seeing with the NFL draft, but they're fundamental to your business. But they also can be similarly executed quickly. So some of the changes that we're talking about in business is, can we do business online? Are your systems online or kind of stuck on premise? Can we have real-time access to information? Can we automate business processes? And what about customers doing business using e-commerce? So that takes us to my last example of e-commerce. Some companies have adapted well to e-commerce, while others have virtually been shut down. And our strategy is always to deliver an integrated e-commerce solution where the online store is simply an extension of your existing system, including existing customers, inventory items, customer-specific pricing, and shipping information that's already included in your ERP system. The customer experience should be the same as somebody that's walking into your store or shop or phoning your sales rep or order desk. Now, we have several options with Acumatica, including the customer portal or using an integrated commercial e-commerce site. We'll demo the customer portal separately in a few minutes, but now I'll quickly feature an integrated BigCommerce site powered by Acumatica Commerce Edition. So here's a sample web store. We can browse publicly or log in for customer-specific pricing. As we navigate the site to see product details, in this case it's cameras, we can see pricing, which again would be customer-specific. And we can see details, including in this case, examples of documents, videos, and things like that. The main thing with that, even the videos and all the other things, is it's controlled by Acumatica. So here's a stock item screen, and we have an e-commerce tab. We have URL links for the YouTube videos and links to the documents, and also the descriptions are all stored and managed within Acumatica. So that's important with that. As we continue in shopping, we complete the cart, we add shipping, and as we process this, everything is managed within Acumatica. So again, it's an example of how we can get a store up and running quickly. So to summarize the new normal and looking forward, most importantly looking forward, we do think this is going to have a lasting impact. There are some things that we just can't go back to doing the same things. Digital transformation is accelerated. We're seeing a rapid, we can change rapidly to online real-time business systems, and automated processes. And we have seen how a fundamental rapid digital transformation can happen before our eyes. Also, the importance of e-commerce and enhanced web presence. We see that as very important, not just now, but moving forward. Okay, with that, I'll turn it over to Samantha right now, and she'll take us further into digital transformation. Thank you.
Thanks, Murray. So digital transformation is the foundation around the market these days, and so that's where we're going to start. So what is digital transformation? Oftentimes people are under the impression that it is just throwing useless technology at a business that provides zero value, and that's really the biggest myth that I want to debunk today. Digital transformation is using technology tools such as software or hardware devices to increase your company's efficiencies by at least a factor of 2, with 3 mandatory and dependent components: people, processes, and tools. You cannot successfully deploy digital transformation without all of these 3 working together. So a perfect way to just, explain what digital transformation looks like in the real world, let's think about farming, a concept that has been around since almost the beginning of time, however, completely digitally transformed. People used to tend their fields by themselves, then animals were used to pull plows, and now we're finding ourselves using tractors and combines. If someone were to tell a farmer to throw 100 people to a field instead of using a tractor, the farmer would probably incredibly discredit that idea. However, when we position it in business, it's unfortunately the gruesome reality. So let's start with people and why they are the most important and why they play a few different roles in DT deployment. Starting with, you need leadership. managing a team, managing the project, as well as the resistance that is most certainly always going to arise in any sort of transformation. That's the obvious. However, the not so obvious is the leader. It's not uncommon for there to be several people with these sort of decision-making abilities. That derails a project. A he said, she said environment where people simply point fingers at each other the whole time, and as a result, nothing gets done. Second, people do need to have the competency and the knowledge and expertise to drive and complete this transition. This is what starts giving you a return on investment, even if you're not fully live yet. So assuming we deploy in a phased approach, where in many cases this is the scenario, if people are competent enough to do the work, you're able to go live, you'll see the value, and thus you get your ROI. Now, the third is a little bit unusual, but people are great cushions, especially when we leverage those frontline champion employees. And these aren't the people who are directly affiliated with the project. They're the ones working on the front lines who help mitigate risk, help with training, who are on board, and ultimately mitigate our last point, resistance, the most dangerous variable in any implementation of digital transformation. We have always done it this way, so why are we changing it, people? These individuals can seriously domino effect a project so quickly because people naturally hate change. So with good leadership, great cushions, you ultimately lower the total resistance. So moving on to processes, every business has some kind of a process, or the process is that there is no processes. So asking the questions here identify the granular details of your processes and ultimately define whether or not you can increase your efficiencies in your existing processes as the first step, but there's no doubt that these will be changed or modified in some way, shape, or form, but it will be for the better as you go through your DT journey. However, the not so obvious process is requirements gathering. So here we have an example of some typical manufacturing requirements. Prior to ever calling a provider or a software company, you need to know exactly what you're looking for. Think about picking ERP software as a school project. If you were told to write a book report back in elementary school, and you decided to write your 3,000-word essay on a Harry Potter book, and then when you received your report back with an F, you'd wonder why. And the teacher would then tell you, oh, well, it was actually supposed to be a report on a biography of a famous male rock star. Well, then you think, well, why did you tell me that? The same thing goes when it comes to ERP selection and digital transformation. The more information you provide, the better likelihood you have of picking the correct solution. The more cryptic you are, the higher risk of failure, because now you've ultimately created a guessing game. So this is great, but it tells me absolutely nothing. So we want to do something called the 5 W's. Using inventory as the example today, just vaguely, why do we need to use inventory? When do we use it? What is it that you're tracking? Who is going to be using it? How will it be used? And where? This is the level of detail you need. Now, this is a good start, but we need to get more granular than that. So let's use the serialization as example. Once we start getting into that granular detail, we do, why do we need to track serialized numbers or serialization? When do we track serialization? On entry, on departure of the warehouse? What is being serialized? And we continue on. So this is the level of detail that you need to provide in order for you to make a really good, solid decision. If you told me to demo MRP, I can demo MRP for 8 hours if you want, but I'm pretty sure that's not exactly what you're looking for. So document the questions you need answered and provide yourself a good, solid grade for your vendors. Now, lastly, tools. Yes, we will be demonstrating a tool here in just a few seconds, but there are many more which can be mobile phones, tablets, scanning devices, IoT devices, the list goes on, and of course, video conferencing, which we all know is key to life these days. Common other tools that are really great are artificial intelligence and machine learning. Very, very powerful in the market. But with their focus being ERP today, what is it? It is a suite of integrated applications that an organization can use to collect, store, and interpret data from many business activities. Okay, so what does that mean? It's a key collaboration tool in your business. Why? Because it's the glue that keeps everything together. Think of ERP as glue. So here we have a few different modules that are available in Acumatica specifically, and many other ERPs, but Acumatica is specific. And I often get wide eyes when people realize you can track timesheets and expenses. You have a CRM system. A lot of businesses tend to gravitate to multiple segregated programs that don't talk to each other. And that's not to say that you can't do that or use a different CRM. Now, if you like the one you're using, that's fine. Just rope it in and tie it into your ERP to have that really solid and good visibility. So that's just a recap on digital transformation. We do have more thorough broken down videos on our YouTube channel and our series for digital transformation if you want to know more about a particular part. So I'm going to go ahead now and just migrate right into our product demo. And our first focus today with our product demo is going to be workflows and approval procedures and what these really do for a business. And having good solid workflows really allows for you to have better control of your operations, better visibility. And I'm going to demonstrate this workflow here today with Steve. And we're on two different machines because obviously we're not in the same building. And I've logged in here into our web-based system as Martin Bernia, who is a sales employee who is not allowed to discount more than 15% on a line item. So what we're going to show today is how this document is going to show and kick in through the system and then get into a pending approval status. So we'll first need to navigate to the sales order module and create a new sales order. So go ahead and open up the sales order. So go ahead and enter customer again our inventory ID, and our quantity. We'll take it off hold. We see it's approved. When we put it back on hold, we can see that it's been resaved and everything's been okay. Now, if we enter a discount percentage here of 25%, and I now uncheck this box, the document's going to now be sitting in a pending approval status, at which point when I submit it, Steve's going to receive a notification as my sales manager who's currently en route, and he's going to go ahead and approve my document. So I'll click Save to add the document to the system. You can see it's been added, and I'll let Steve take it away now to finish the workflow.
Hi, and now on my screen, this is my mobile device, my iPhone. I now get a notification, look at the timing on that, of the approval pending, and all I have to do now is simply click on the item. I can use my fingerprint to unlock the Acumatica application. And now the mobile app logs me in. And what it's done is it's taking me directly to the sales order that I need to approve. I don't have to go scroll through any menus or any other information. It's going to bring up my sales order. And there it is. So here's my order summary, and you'll see at the very top, there's the order number 5477 that Samantha just created, and it says pending approval. If I need to, I can simply click onto the details tab and see the 50 Lego. And when I click on those, I see more details of the original unit price of 110 and the discounted unit price of 82.50. If I'm all right with this and I want to go ahead and say this is fine to approve, I can go back to my main screen, and you'll see at the very bottom of my screen, I have an approve button, and I can simply click on approve. The system processes now, and real time back in our accounting system, the order has been approved and is ready for processing. I could skip back out of here now and keep doing work, or I could just close out and be back into my phone. So at this point, this wraps up the demo of the mobile notification and the approval. What we're going to move on to now is Samantha's going to create a customer order from a customer portal, and we're going to follow the workflow through the system. All right, Sam, if you're ready.
All right, thanks, Steve. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. And now I've logged into something known as the customer portal. Now this is a B2B e-commerce solution. We often think about, e-commerce as going on and hitting a website and then ordering a pair of jeans or candles or shovels, whatever you might be into. But this is designed for the B2B distributor. We have a few of our clients running this as well as their solution, where I've logged in as a customer. You can see that this is similar to the Acumatica user interface we have, and it's very easy to use because we're unlimited users, so there's no extra licensing associated with it. So as a customer, when I log in for my quote-unquote vendor, I can see, at a glance, history, invoices, prepayments, outstanding balances, and memos. And what this really allows for you to do is you're solving the question, can I have a copy of my last invoice? I know a lot of distributors and manufacturers get this often, day to day. And then you can see that you can create favorites, which is common inventory items and things that, you are common menu items that you might use day to day. But we're going to go ahead and start in the catalog today. So as a customer, when I log in, I open up my vendor's catalog and I can see all their inventory IDs. I can see warehousing details, and I know that it's pulling my particular pricing as a customer from the ERP system. So all of the default pricing or discounts will be applied as well. In addition to this, you can configure the portal to make it really what you want. So if you don't really want your customers seeing warehouse details, but you want them seeing something completely different, that is something you're able to do as well. So, just upon drilling down here into the first Acer laptop item, I'll go ahead and open it up. And immediately I can see a picture of the item, a brief description of the item, and I can see the warehouse. So I'm going to go ahead and order a quantity of 50 of these items. You'll notice that my cart is currently empty. So I'll go ahead and add these to the cart. And now I can see that those 50 items have been added. And hypothetically speaking, I'm going to say that I'm going to need to buy some Lego with my laptops as well, because everyone needs Lego with laptop purchases. So I'll go ahead and add this to the cart as well, where once we add it, we will see that the cart has now changed to 100 items. Once we're finished shopping from our vendor, and you can do this after hours, the company can be closed, you can place orders however you wish. I'll go ahead and open my cart. And now I can review all my details, and I'm going to go ahead and proceed to checkout, where I can alternatively continue shopping or clear it if I decided not to purchase these items. But I'm going to proceed to checkout because I need to order these laptops and this Lego piece set. Once we get the information for the ship to information, we can see that this customer does have affiliated discount already as probably a customer discount. You can also specify the location in which you'd like this to go. So here it defaults to the primary location, but let's say Las Vegas needs the Lego and the laptops. So here we can see that the addresses have all changed. And at this point, we'll go ahead and continue to checkout. We'll review the order. Once we finalize the details, I'll submit it. Once the order is submitted, this has now replicated the sales order in the ERP system on Steve's side, who's going to finish the workflow here in a second. So here we have our order. We have our order number 5478. We have our review details, at which point I can now print this order or export it into Excel or PDF, which is a feature standard across the entire solution. So at this point, I'm going to pass it over to Steve so he can show you the order appearing in the system and finish off the workflow.
Hi there. Thanks, Samantha. So I'm logged into the Acumatica system now as the sales manager, and this is my dashboard that I would see when I log in the morning or anytime during the day. This is my default homepage. And you'll notice at the very top, I've got a widget in my dashboard that says New Customer Portal Orders. This one refreshed just a moment ago. Each of the different widgets on the dashboard can be refreshed at different intervals, depending on how often your data changes. So you could have them updated every 5 minutes or once a day. It really depends on what information and how you need to change it. The nice thing about these is I can now click on this. 5478 is USA Schools order for the laptops and the Lego that Samantha just created or our customer created on their site. So when I click on the order, it opens up the sales order. I see all of the same information. I get to see the selling price, the quantities. I get to see the shipping settings of Las Vegas. That's where it's going to go. And I also get to see the discount. And as Samantha mentioned, this customer has a standing 5% discount. So it automatically applied that. It grabbed their rates for their items and applied the correct rates for it. At this point, all I need to do is uncheck it on hold. The system now says it's pending approval, and because I'm the approver as the sales manager, I can do this all at the same time, and I've approved it. My job now as the sales manager is over, and I can simply click back to my home page, and my customer portal order is gone because it's been approved and it no longer needs my attention. So now, if I'm the shipping clerk in the system, they would have a dashboard as well, and I'm going to refresh this dashboard, And what you'll see is on their dashboard, order 5478, the customer portal sales request from Sam Malone, has been approved and is ready to ship. As the shipping clerk, I can click on the sales order number. This opens up the same sales order that I saw before as the sales manager, but it's all marked as approved and ready to ship. All I need to do is go up to actions and say create shipment. And the system then goes out and says on this date, on this warehouse, I say okay, and my shipment gets created for me. Once I have my shipment, it's open here, shows me what I'm going to get. It tells me what warehouse, what location, where to go get these items. I could go into this actions menu and click print pick list, or I could take my scanners if I have them and just head out into the warehouse and pick my items and scan them all in for my shipment. Once I'm all finished, I can go in and I could set any package information. If I have 4 packages, if I have shipping settings for the carrier, for FedEx, any of those items. And the last step for me would be to hit confirm shipment. Once I confirm shipment, the shipment locks and says all of these items are headed out the door and sent to the customer. And you'll notice in the top left corner of this screen now, my shipment has been confirmed. So my shipping clerk can now close. And when they refresh, that order is gone off my orders to ship, and it's no longer in my orders to pick and pack. What would have happened is if I would have created the shipment and then not confirmed it right away, it would have shown it at the bottom here as a shipment that had been created and waiting for me to finish picking it or sending it out the door. And now the last step in the workflow here is to make sure that the order has been created, it's been shipped out the door. The last thing to do is for the AR clerk to invoice it. So now the AR clerk has their own dashboard, and on their dashboard, they would have they have a widget as well that says orders to invoice. And when I simply click on my orders to invoice button, it brings up a window for me. And just like all the others, I get to see the shipment and the order, and I can click on this order number. And now I get to see all the same information, and the AR clerk just needs to simply go in and click prepare invoice. And their job is finished as well. So now there's no longer any missing of shipments or missing of invoices. You can't double ship things. You can't double invoice. All of the information and workflow is tracked by the system. All right. And I'll pass it back now to Samantha.
All right, so that wraps up our presentation for today. I think, Brenda, I don't know if you got any questions come in.
I do have one. So thank you, Murray, Samantha, and Steve. You've certainly showed us some powerful tools and how an order is managed from end to end throughout Acumatica. So the one question that we've got is, our business is almost shut down now. I'd like to make some system changes, but we're struggling to meet payroll and rent. How can you help us? Murray, is that something you can take on?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Brenda. It'll just go quickly and then we'll wrap up here. Yeah, obviously we're very respectful of people and company situations now. A couple things I would say from cash flow. There are some government programs out there. They're not for everybody. Some work well, better than others. We have some excellent associates that can help navigate that. That's one thing. You know what I would say is getting going with this. The first step is to say, let's sit down and go over your business requirements. That costs nothing. We're happy to do that anytime right now and try to help out people. And so, yeah, book a meeting with us. This doesn't going to cost anything, and let's see if we can get the process going. Acumatica does have some promotions right now, recognizing the situation companies are in, and certainly us. We're local Alberta companies, so we're very cognizant of what's going on. So those are a few things. Again, it starts with give us a call, and we'll sit down and have a meeting, and that doesn't cost anything.
Thanks, Murray. We're right at the end of our time, so I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to join us. We have recorded this, and it will be up on our webinar on our website by the end of this week. We plan to do another webinar in May, so stay tuned. If you have any ideas of what you'd like to see, please send them our way. Stay safe, have a great day, and be healthy. Thank you.